Good morning, Yo-Yo's fam. I pray you all are having a great and wonderful day. I wanted to talk with you all for a little bit this morning on my drive to work, as I am late. I posed a question yesterday, asking Trump supporters, what policies is it that Trump has that makes you want to vote for him? What policies does Trump have that make you want to vote for him? I asked this question, did not get a response from any Trump supporters. And I wonder why. Like, tell me his policies. Well, I have a friend, and I hope she doesn't mind me saying this about her. She was a diehard Trump supporter. She was like, because, gays are indoctrinating our children and the transgender. I said, to me, those are talking points. Those are points that get you fear-mongering, right? I've been around gay people for the majority of my life, and I am over 50. Not one time did they indoctrinate me into being gay, want to be homosexual, want to be transgender, none of that. I used to take my daughters to the library where they had trans drag queens reading to them. It was exciting. It was fun. Not one time did any of them people try to molest my child. Neither one of my children tried to bring them over to the dark side, per se. Not one time. So I'm going to debunk that, right? I have never. I have friends that have never, that went with me, that are not that way, right? People I know that are gay, homosexuals, lesbians, so on and so forth, that have never said, oh, let me try to get this little girl, little boy. Not one time. That's my experience. So I'm going to debunk that from my perspective. And I can surely know for her perspective too. She's never had that. So I'm going to push that aside, right? Banning books from our schools. She said, well, why do we have to have people talking about homosexuality and fornication and all this stuff, right? I was like, listen, if you don't want your child to read that, don't buy the book. Just because it's on the shelf doesn't mean you have to read it. Because I don't like all kinds of books. So I'm not going to purchase them. I'm not going to check them out at the library. I'm not going to download them because I don't want to read them. So why is it that because you think it's turning our children into being that way or putting thoughts in their head that they should be off the books? James Baldwin was gay, and he wrote one of the best books I've read. So you mean to tell me, but it was telling his perspective, right, as being a black man and a black gay man in America. So I think that's his name. Yes. So you tell me that's only his perspective. There's a book out. I don't know who the author is. I know he's gay, right? And he was on The View. I believe it was The View I seen him. And he wrote a children's book, right? Telling his side of the story of coming out and, letting little children know it's okay if you decide, whatever. Again, I'm a parent. I'm going to scan the book before I let my child read it. If I choose, no, this ain't the book for you, baby, right? I'm not going to allow him or her to get it. So let me debunk that, because it's the parents' responsibility not to have your children read books. Hey, let your children play games and read books about murder and all this other stuff. That's indoctrinating them. That's putting evil things in their mind and in their spirit, right? So that's okay, but that ain't okay. That's strange to me. The other thing is abortion. Now, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna tell you from my perspective. I had an abortion. Actually, I had 3 abortions. Once when I was raped, and twice. What in the Sam Dickens is car doing? I got pregnant, just graduated high school, was going into the military, and I didn't know I was pregnant. I was on birth control at the time, and I went to MEPS, found out I was pregnant, and had to come home. I had an abortion because I wanted to go in the military. I got pregnant again, and at that time I didn't want children, right? And then I got pregnant again from rape, and I had an abortion because I didn't want it. Looking back now, then, first of all, when I was raped, I did not want to have a rapist child. So that was a choice that my mother and I talked about, and I chose to get rid of it. The other 2, I mean, I could have, but I didn't. But that was a choice that I made, right? Right now, do I believe in abortion? No. However, I believe it's a person's right to choose what to do with their bodies. The husband and wife, the female that was raped, the child and her parent, it's their it's their decision. They talk it over with their doctor. They see, the best course of action, especially in a rape situation. Then, not only that, but sometimes we call them DNCs, but they're actually abortions. You have a fetus that can't live outside the body. That's why it's called an embryo. Sorry, then a fetus. What is that? They can't live outside of the body, and you run tests and whatever. Like the lady in Louisiana who had the baby didn't have a skull, it wouldn't survive. So her doctor, she wanted the child, but her doctor, her and her husband decided that it was best for them to terminate the pregnancy. Lord, I can't speak this morning. So I'm gonna debunk that, because the other lady here in the state of Texas that I live, Katie, I think that's her name, Katie, something like that. She and her husband wanted their baby. I think it was their 3rd child. The baby has some kind of rare disease, and they chose, the doctor, her husband, and her chose to have an abortion. The baby couldn't live outside of the body on its own anyway, so they chose to have that. So to me, yes, with the grape of the life of the mother, grapes, and or medical situations where the child won't survive birth or anything, or won't live outside the body. So yes, that part I do believe in, right? So I had told her that's crazy to me. Like, if the life of the mother, and you don't want the life of the mother's already here. The baby is not here, because guess what? The baby cannot live outside the mother before 29, 28, 30 weeks. So if you have a baby at 15 weeks, it's not going to live. 12 weeks, it's not going to live outside the body. Don't get me wrong, with changing scientific things that are going on, it could be a possibility, but as of right now, it is not. So let's debunk that, if you want to go on that policy, right? Can't. Now, climate change. She couldn't say anything about climate change because it is real. Like Texas, I don't know, we have 4 seasons in one day. We have crazy things going on across the country. The oceans are hotter than they ever been. So we see the climate shifting, right? So he wants to do away with the scientific thing of climate change. I read an article about a scientist that was in Alaska, that he was saying that under the Trump administration, when he was president before, they stopped them from saying anything about climate, about the permafrost that was thawing out, and things was resurfacing because they were being thawed out. In other words, putting danger to our environment and our earth. So they want to do away with that. So to me, you're on a train of messing up our earthly realm, this rock that we live on, because you feel climate change isn't real. When you as yourself, this is me talking to her, believe in climate change. So let's debunk that. Then we just, you can't go off of policies like no fault divorce. They want you to stay in it, and it's written in this book. If you keep reading it, if you keep going the 900 and something pages, you will see what they are saying. No fault divorce. So a woman can't file for a divorce if she's being abused, raped by her husband, him cheating on her, she can't get a divorce. The devil is a lie, and the truth just ain't in them. Because I'd be daggone if I'm going to sit here and have somebody beat my tail and I'm going to stay in a relationship. Absolutely not. So, again, are those your policies that you stand on? So you as a woman, as a black woman, as an Asian woman, as a white woman, feel that it's okay to put your life in jeopardy for if you have get pregnant? There's no such thing as abortion once a child is born. That's murder. They are dumb. That's murder. People who leave their babies wrapped up in something in a trash can and they find out who it is, it's called murder. That's it. That's not an abortion. That's murder. So we have to I just really want to know what your thoughts are, why you were sticking with this man. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Kamala is 100% right? Because like I stated in previous videos, no president on this green earth has given anybody everything they absolutely want. But we are a democratic republic, and we have the right to a democracy where we all have rights. All, black, white, Asian, Puerto Rican, all them, the Latinos, all of them. We all have rights. So you're telling me that if you allow this man, you think you're right as a black woman, as a gay woman or man, I'm not saying that's what she is, you're going to still have your rights? Absolutely not. No, you're not. So we have to think about all these things when we go and vote, right? And they ask, what has Kamala Harris done? Well, let's see. They say that she put thousands of men in jail, black men in jail. First of all, let me tell you something. You do the crime, you go to jail. I'm sorry, you going to jail. My brother has been in jail, right? My other brother has been in jail, God rest his soul. And I've been in jail because I did stupid stuff, right? So you do the crime, you do the time. However, she had the Build Back Better thing in California for first time low defenders, drug chargers, where they could go into a place, they get rehabilitation, they learn skills, they get a GED, they get a job to get them off that path. She tried to get the children that was doing truancy, that wasn't going to school, back in school. But guess what, y'all? She was elected as DA. She was elected as Attorney General. Not once, but twice. Okay? And then she was elected to the state representative of California. If she was so bad, why did y'all choose to elect her? I have family that and friends that live in California, and I asked them about it, and what they told me was that, hey, she was pretty good. She has a 45, 47 conviction. She, actually got people put in jail conviction rate. They did the crime. But you have to think. Let's think about this. Let's say you got popped for marijuana, right? Not just a little dime bag, but a whole, a gram or so of marijuana, or 10 grams or whatever, cocaine, whatever it is. She tries to get you better, but you have another charge. You have, maybe this may be your third or fourth charge with that. She can't let it go because you ain't learned your lesson the first 2, 3, or 4 times. She has to put you in jail. Come on, people. Come on now. You go out here, you might get popped for that, but you might have been on probation or parole. Come on, y'all. That's a violation. Y'all have to use your noggin, right? With that. They say she slept her way to the top. Yeah. I mean, if she did, honey, the hoes is with you. Right? Because, I could tell you stories about myself. Go. You got the right of way. And it's just ridiculous how people sit up here and say these things without really doing research or use the talking point because somebody else said it. You could go to ca.gov and find out stuff about her, or the state of Texas, she wasn't in Texas, of California website. The AG's website of California. They would tell you things that you need to know. It ain't hard, y'all. It is not hard. But I refuse to put a man who is a 34 count, twice impeached child molester, been charged with sexually assaulted a woman, Jean Carroll, back in office, who sat up on national TV to a Christian base and said, 1, he wasn't Christian. 2, would you have the white president or the black president? Y'all know what he wanted to say. 3, you vote this time because after this time you won't have to vote ever again. They'll have it fixed to where you'll never have to vote again. A dictatorship. No, sir, no, ma'am, can't do it. And if that's what you want, then you need to go to Russia, China, Korea, North Korea, and all them other dictatorship countries. Go, bye. Bye. This country was not built on that. So, that is my rant this morning on my way to work. I love you all. Have a great day.